Have you ever seen those shows or those movies where an employee is about to quit their job and they know they're about to leave? So what they end up doing is they put all their stuff in a box, and as they're walking away from the company, they start insulting everybody because now they're free. That's kind of how it felt like a little bit. It felt like the people in charge were just kind of thinking like, well, you know, we know this show is ending soon, so we just got to get Gohan out of there as soon as possible. Because, you know, it's time to close shop. Just watching this episode made me think that perhaps there has been some serious disagreements behind the scenes about how to produce this show. Because not only will this anime be ending in 7 episodes, which in my opinion will make for a very abrupt and rush ending. And to be honest, based off of this episode, we can kind of already see some of that kicking in. You know, the fact that they have to tie a lot of these loose ends very quickly. Not only that, but they eliminate Gohan, and the elimination is not by itself the issue, but they eliminate Gohan, all right, completely abandoning the fact that they had built up his character in the recruitment arc for him to do something special. There is a moment during his fight against Goku wherein which Gohan tells him, "Yo, Dad, I'm going to reach your same stage. I'm going to reach that status that you're in right now, but I'm going to do it my own way, and I will achieve my own new form." That's what he said when he was fighting his dad. And so, as it stands right now, I do not see how this bit of dialogue will pay off in the long run unless they actually decide to incorporate this foreshadowing in the movie that will premiere in December. We start off with Goku and Vegeta versus Jiren, and nothing really changes when we compare that little portion of the episode to last week's. I mean, Jiren is still a monster, and he pretty much tanked everything. He tanked a Final Flash from Vegeta, and he tanked Kamehameha from Goku. So that's a very short part of the episode. Then we go to Dyspo versus Frieza. At first, it seems like they're both like equal in terms of speed. There's a comment that Frieza makes referencing Goku, wherein which Goku pretty much says that Dyspo is very fast, but his weakness is that he can only move very fast in a straight line. And that makes his movements very easy to read. However, at one point, Dyspo does trap Frieza in this ring, and he detonates it, so it explodes. Frieza completely tanks the explosion, and he pretty much tells him that if they remain in the same form and they keep going at it, they're just going to tire each other out. And even if Frieza were to be eliminated by Dyspo, he would still be stuck with a 3-on-4. And now he would be drained at that point if that were to happen. So Frieza offers him a deal. He's like, if you promise to bring me back with the Super Dragon Balls, then I promise to help your universe out. But of course, it's Frieza. Dyspo doesn't believe it, you know, because he's part of the Pride Troopers. He's about justice and stuff. He's like, I don't make deals with evil. And they start going at it again, except this time now Frieza has used his power-up, and he is now in golden form. And they reused, that's the thing about this episode, I think they reused a lot of animation, I think, that I've seen previously. Not just in this shot with the transformation, but I think like in the Goku versus Jiren thing, I think they reused a lot of the animation that we saw in the previous episode as well. Then Dyspo powers up, gets a speed boost. I think at this point he's moving faster than the speed of light, and he's capable of breaking through Frieza's offense, to the point where the movements are so fast that they can't be registered by the God Pad that the Xenos have. And by the way, I don't know if this is like some type of foreshadowing or if it's just like a throwaway line. I don't know what the Daishinkan means. What do you mean next time, Daishinkan? That's not something you would say if your series were to end in 7 episodes. Anyway, then Gohan comes in to help Frieza, and he leaves 17 alone to fight Toppo, which in my opinion was a little bit weird. I think it would have made more sense to do the exact opposite, to let 17 go and help Frieza and let Gohan stay with Toppo. But whatever, you know, he goes over there and he's able to break through Dyspo's attack on Frieza fairly easily, to the point where I was going to say, really? That's how easily he was able to get out of it, and Frieza couldn't break through that? But then Dyspo says that it was kind of like a lucky shot that Gohan came in. It kind of caught him off guard, I guess. And then the show goes on to depict a change in Dyspo's movements. Now, instead of just moving in a straight line, we can clearly see that he can move left or right. He can move like in zigzags and stuff. So, you know, this form, I guess, allows him to have more control over his speed, but still be incredibly fast. And so Gohan suggests that they find a way of trapping or at least limiting his movements. And he uses Frieza's laser abilities through his fingers to create a cage. So he makes like a bird cage to sort of fight in. The unfortunate thing about this whole thing, however, is that it pretty much requires Gohan to use himself as bait. I honestly felt like the best part of this episode was in the dialogue between Gohan and Frieza. There's a moment where Frieza asks Gohan, yo, what happens if I actually betray you this time? And Gohan just looks at him and is like, well then if that's the case, I'll knock you off myself. And then Frieza acknowledging Gohan as the leader of the team I thought was really cool, especially because Frieza is so arrogant and sassy that he rarely acknowledges anything, let alone anyone. And I said this before in my previous review, but I think it bears repeating. Gohan has been the best example. He's been the best role model of teamwork in this entire tournament. Didn't matter who his team member was, every time he got paired up with a new fighter in this tournament, he was capable of taking advantage of his own strength and skill, paired up with the skill and strength of his other team member, and used that to his advantage to try and get some eliminations in Universe 7's favor. And he did that consistently ever since the tournament started up until the point that he got eliminated. So I'm a little bit salty. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit salty about this thing, but you know, you gotta power through it. And again, the elimination by itself isn't really the problem. The problem I kind of have is that I feel like the elimination was a little bit anticlimactic, if you know what I mean. It was a little bit anticlimactic, and I felt like for a character like Gohan, I feel like Gohan ultimately deserved better in the end. But what are you going to do? You know, if you have to close shop, you have to close shop. You have to follow orders. If the boss is telling you we're leaving to start working on the movie, or you got to start working on the movie, so try and wrap this up as soon as possible, there's nothing much you can do. I mean the animators or the people who could work on this, I think their hands are tied at the moment. I did, however, notice that they had Uncle Piccolo come in there by the end with a comment, sort of like to rub some coconut oil on the elimination, because he's like, you know, Gohan, you did a really good thing. You made the right call, because if you had not sacrificed yourself, if you had not, you know, gotten Dyspo on that chokehold, there would have been no way that you would have been able to stop him, because he's just so fast. So again, you know, Piccolo just trying to do some damage control there. I thought it was nice. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it was nice. But I guess in my mind, given the fact that it's been stated previously that Gohan's potential is the highest out of anyone, it just kind of felt like sacrificing Gohan to take out Dyspo. It felt like if you were to sacrifice a castle, it felt like you were to sacrifice a rook to sort of like take out a knight in a chess match. Also, the end result of this episode, which, you know, ultimately leaves Frieza in play, further supports the notion or the idea that Frieza replaced Buu for a very important reason. So I'm still waiting to see what they do with his character before all of this is over. That being said, because of the announcement that Super will be ending in March, I'm also trying my best to sort of just enjoy the moment. You know, enjoy each episode from here on out, every time it comes out, and just take it in and just appreciate it for what it is, because, you know, very soon we're not going to have these Saturday nights where these episodes air. And so by setting aside the part of me that is a Gohan fan, I can also honestly tell you that I thought it was a very creative choice to have him eliminated before 17 and before Frieza. Because I honestly thought, I think most of our money was on the Saiyans being the top three, being the last remaining three. But that didn't happen, and it was surprising. At the very least, it was surprising and creative. And now what this does is that it sets up the stage for something more creative and unique to happen, which is the Dyspo versus Frieza in 17 fight. And that, I have no idea what's going to happen in that. I mean, we saw the preview and stuff, and we see that Toppo is definitely like achieved like this aura that is similar to that of a god of destruction, but we don't know how the fight is going to go down. So the scenario in and of itself for next week's episode is going to be very unique and hopefully, you know, even more unexpected. If I had to guess though, I'd probably say that 17 and Frieza get overwhelmed by Toppo. Goku notices this and tells Vegeta, you gotta go take out Toppo, man. Leave Jiren to me, or something along those lines. I just feel like we have to get Vegeta versus Toppo before all of this is over, unless they're trying to fuse Vegeta with Goku again to fight against Jiren. But we'll see what happens. That's going to do it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I'm going to do Dragon Ball Super reviews up until March, apparently. And comment with your thoughts. What did you think about the episode? Just leave them down below. Thanks a bunch. Catch you later. Bye.